Chang Meissen. I am your second district president. And I really appreciate, again, you coming in and learning about your roles. So just a little summary. Treasurer will be from 6 to 7, and then from 7 to 8, we will do secretary. First off, we're going to do Gina Morris, which is our second district secretary, and go for it. Let's start.
Hi, I'm Gina Morris, and I'm actually the Second District Treasurer, although I was the secretary a couple years back, so Karen's not too far off. I'm going to be doing the training for treasurer. I was a little distracted by Kimberly's hand is
Yes,
raised.
Kimberly, do you have a question? Mhm. Oh,
Kimberly? No?
Kimberly? No? Was that just an error? Okay,
So
go ahead.
I'm just I'm going to bombard you with kind of a lot of information, but then we're going to end with just a snapshot of information of what you need to know right now as treasurers. And and then we can have some Q&A at the end. How does that sound? And I'm going to try to figure this out. Go back to the beginning. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Treasurer's training, but also financial training for the whole board. And I'm going to start by talking about PTAs being public charities. And the reason I want to start with this is to sort of emphasize the importance of keeping your finances in order and following the proper procedures, which will seem a little bit maybe overwhelming or maybe just like too many things to sign or too much to do. Why are we in such detail? But this is why, because we are a public charity, so we're eligible to receive tax deductible donations, generally exempt from paying taxes, and we have a legal and ethical relationship of trust with a lot of people, the board members, PTA members, supporters. We protect the assets of the organization, and in that way, we can maintain our charitable status. If if we make a big mistake, you could lose your designation as a public charity. And all PTA officers, board members are fiduciaries. So it's not just the treasurer. All board members are responsible on some level. Okay, next. So who's the treasurer? Now I wrote this thing and my little Zoom thing is hiding it, but the treasurer is the officer who's in charge of all the money and the finances for PTA. You're going to make sure all the funds that come in and go out are authorized per PTA guidelines, and you keep track of all the supporting documents. And even though you have the keys to the castle, the membership is the group that makes all the decisions. So if somebody comes up to you in the hallway and says, "Hey, treasurer, can I have $500 for X, Y, and Z?" That's not a decision you can make. If it's $10, it's not a decision you can make. It all goes through the membership. So even if you have a big giant pen like this guy in the picture. All right. I keep having to move my thing of people. So it's going to be very important for you to be organized. You're going to if you don't already have something in place, if your treasurer before you is not organized, you need to make a plan to keep all your documents organized and secure. So you're going to have a lot of paperwork and you want to keep it in order. You want to keep it keep track of it. At the end of the year, you're going to have a financial review and you want that reviewer and yourself to be able to gather up the necessary documents ready to go for that review. You'll have things like budgets, your bank statements, reconciliations, expense authorizations. There are other kinds of authorizations you might have, and then the taxes and legal documents that are important to keep. So now just look really quickly at your main duties, what you're going to find yourself doing most of the time. First, handling money. right? So you're going to be signing the authorization forms. These authorization forms will be money coming in, money going out, requests for reimbursement, things like that. And so it's your job to sign a lot of these forms. You're going to be writing the checks or initiating payments in other ways, like through bill pay online, or if you have Zelle, that kind of situation, or PayPal. And you make the deposits at the bank or electronically, or however you do that. Another main duty will be accounting. You're going to keep track of all of the transactions, all the money. It's going to go into some sort of accounting system. Some people use Excel. Some people have programs they pay for, like QuickBooks. I don't know if anyone uses Peachtree. There's PTEZ. That's what Second District uses. And you're going to balance your accounts every month. Every month. Every month. Not every other month. Every month. You have administrative duties as well. One thing, and maybe not everyone knows this, but you are responsible as a treasurer to collect and hold the whistleblower forms from your board members. This is a form that you can look it up online, and I think I'm giving you a link later that to all forms, so you can look for it there. But it's just a form. That's basically a conflict of interest form for the board members to make sure that they know that they are, um, can't. For example, if a board member has a popcorn company, they're not going to be using their popcorn company to make money from PTA. Um, Administratively, you're going to file state and federal taxes and all required documents, and then you're going to chair the budget committee when that comes around, usually in March. All right. We kind of just went over your general duties, the things you're responsible for. Now we're just going to narrow it down into your daily life. So the daily life is mostly about money flow. Um, every PTA, before it can spend any money, is gonna have to have an association approved budget. So you have one, right? But you still can't spend any of the money until these three things happen. One, the board and the association have to vote to release the funds from the budget. Then, let's say that's happened, the board has to vote to approve the proposed expenses. And then lastly, the forms need to be signed by the appropriate people. And this could be this payment authorization request form or payment authorization or request for reimbursement. This is the one you'll see most often. After you write your check or make your payment, at the next meeting, you're going to present your expenses in detail for everyone to ratify them. So I know if you haven't seen this layout before, it seems like quite a lot. And the whole reason is for transparency and just to keep everything safe. So we're just going to look a little bit closer at what that flow looks like, because this is mostly what you're going to be doing. So it's important to be super clear on it. So here are the board and association that should be voted, have voted to release the funds from the budget. So what you do is you're at your board meeting. On your minutes, on your agenda, you're going to add a list of estimated or actual expenses that the PTA expects to spend from meeting to meeting. So from that meeting until the next meeting. And let's say the board approves it. You can't make your payment yet. Then the board approves the proposed expenses from those funds that they've released, but you still can't make the payment. Then you get your form signed for those approved expenses, and now you can make your payment. So these three things have to happen, and after it does, you're going to record everything, file your documents. You're going to do that immediately so you don't have a mountain of receipts to enter in and start scratching your head about what was this for? Okay. And this is kind of more the same thing, but I put it in this format, so I think it could be a little more clear what you might see in the process. So, in the first meeting, when you want to release the funds, your agenda might look like this under Treasurer's Report, Release of Funds. You know you're going to need maybe $300 from the Halloween line item because that's coming up before it's coming up. You might need $500 from the club line item because you know clubs are going to be wanting to spend some money. So let's say the board has approved that. Then next it goes to, oh, and the association has approved it. So then now you have your reimbursement forms. Somebody bought the Halloween bags for $233.15. Somebody bought something for cooking club and so on. So you have 3 club expenses and 1 Halloween expense. All of these things, though the funds have already been released, so now these are the actual expenses that people are wanting money for. This goes to the board meeting and they approve these expenses. All these should have the appropriate receipts. You cannot give a reimbursement or pay for anything without some kind of invoice or receipt. Okay, so now you've got the board has approved the actual expenses. You can now write your checks. You can pay these reimbursements. The last thing you're going to do is at the next meeting, you're going to put on your agenda, ratify expenses. So now you have the actual check numbers, who they're written to, how much it was for, and what it was for. And then everyone votes to ratify those expenses. Every time I talk through this, I feel like it's like, what? What's so many steps? But it really is developed this way to keep everything safe, keep your money safe. And it really doesn't leave any room for malfeasance, for someone to write a check to themselves, for example, or for it to even look like someone's doing that. So, so then this is how that's done. And this is probably mostly what you're going to be doing as treasurer. And I think if you do have questions, please put them in the chat for now, and then we're gonna get to them. And we might pause too at some point for questions. So, okay, so now we have a lot of forms. I've kind of put a list together of the most used forms. Anytime you want to move some money around, you will need to have a form signed by 2 people, 2 authorized signers. So usually authorized signers are going to be 2 check signers, people who are authorized to sign checks through the bank, or the president and secretary. So most often you're going to see this payment authorization and request for reimbursement form. You're going to be using the cash verification form if you have cash and checks coming in. Authorization to purchase on the internet. I think maybe people don't know about this form so much, but it does exist and you should be getting your signatures if you want to buy something online. And also authorization for payment via EFT, bill pay, any electronic payment. There is a form you need to fill out and have signed authorizing you to make this online payment. You also need a form signed by 2 people to authorize transferring funds from account to account. And I didn't put it here, but I should have put it here that you never ever withdraw cash. Never ever withdraw cash. That's a no-no. And then I did provide this link for California PTA forms. I wonder, I'm going to copy the link address and put it in the chat. She said as if she really knows how to do that. I don't know how to, oh, there it is, chat. Where'd it go? It keeps moving. There it is, chat. Okay. Um, link to California PTA forms. Okay. So these forms I mean, they're really your best friends because when the financial reviewer or anyone is looking at your books and they say, why did this happen? And say, here's the paperwork. It was approved. Um, it's all in the up and up. Nothing to worry about. That's your daily life. Now, your monthly life involves some reports and some administration. So, in addition to managing the money coming in and out, you're also going to do these fun things. Every month, you're going to reconcile each bank account. So the bank accounts, it's like anything that has your money in it, anything. It's it's your banking account, your checking account, your savings account. It's an investment account. It's PayPal, Square, uh, anything your money is, anything your money is, or wherever it is, however you're moving it in and out of that account, you reconcile that each month. And the statements and reconciliations need to be signed by the treasurer and an assigned PTA member. I think this is something that is getting lost in our administration of the finances. So you do need to sign your statements. You do need to have an assigned PTA member also review and sign the statements and the reconciliations as well. This is actually an insurance requirement. So make sure you get that done and then just keep them on file. Monthly, you're going to present financial reports, expense approvals, and spending ratification at each meeting. And monthly, you're going to remit membership form and dues to Second District PTA, which is me. I get those. When you mail them in, I get those. Sometimes Karen gets them and gives them to me. Eventually, I get them. So monthly, you're doing that. How do I go back? That reconciliation. And it's going to look something like this, right? So it's going to show a starting balance from the last time you reconciled. It's going to show all the payments that have cleared the bank, all the deposits that have cleared the bank, and then it'll show the ending balance as well. This one doesn't show it, but it probably will show uncleared transactions, and it should show a list of transactions that haven't hit the bank yet. It should show a list of that. And just a reminder, 2 signatures on each statement and reconciliation. Okay, what's this one? So monthly, you have your reports. You're going to present a report of the financials at each board and association meeting. Now, the first little block there, it says 2 distinct reports for board and association dated the last day of the meeting, like the last meeting you had, until the day before the current meeting, if that makes sense. And you want to be consistent with that. Now, I know some people do, maybe they want to do like a week or a few days before the current meeting, just so they have time to get the reports out for people to look at, which makes a lot of sense. But as long as you're consistent with that I think that's fine. So every meeting, you're going to present funds to release and or expenses to pay and or payments to ratify. Every meeting you're going to present, not every meeting, at least every quarter, you are going to present a budget versus actual report. You can do it every meeting, but you should do it at least every quarter. So this is just an example of a treasurer's report. The treasurer's report is going to show, the treasurer's report is for every account you have, by the way, every account. This one I see a checking account and a savings account. If you had a PayPal account, that's going on here too. Um, any other account you have where there's activity. And it's going to show the balance on hand as of whatever date, excuse me, how much income in the detail that you see that came in. It'll separate out the funds not belonging to the unit in income. And then you do your expenses the same way. You have your balance on hand. This is the report that you are supposed to show at every meeting. Receipts dispersed. I think I covered all of that's supposed to be on there. These reports that you present at your meeting, they don't have to be voted in. You just you highlight anything sometimes there are things you think you want to highlight. In this one, I see there are 2 voided checks. You might say, oh, these were voided because of X, Y, and Z. Or maybe you'll note that the insurance premium was due, so you paid that. Anything you think is of note at your meeting. And then if there are no questions or after taking the questions, you just say that you'll file the report for financial review. So you don't need to have everyone vote on it. This is kind of a sample of a budget versus actual report. Sorry, it's not great. I couldn't find a really good one. But basically you show on the left side all your income and expense line items. And on the right side, you have your budget and how much you've spent year to date really is all you need. In this one, it has also a selected period of time, which is probably meeting to meeting. Usually it'll show a plus or minus your budget. So let's say membership dues here, excuse me, year to date is $2,000 and the budget is $3,000. So there might be another column that says minus 1,000. So you're short $1,000 of reaching your membership due budget. And again, this should be at least once a quarter. Okay. Another thing you're going to do monthly is membership remittance. This is really due the 15th of the month. Right around the 15th, I go to 555 Franklin Street. I look in the mailbox and I take all the remittance letters that have been sent to me with the checks, and then I send off the payments and reports to California PTA. So what it looks like in your accounting though, you'll have two, some of you use both totem and not totem. Not totem is going to be paper or somebody signs up on your website or something like that. Totem is going to deposit the money due to you directly into your bank account. They will deposit the money due to you and any donations. It's a lump sum. So make sure when you're entering your totem, you're separating out your dues, your membership dues from any donations that you get. And I think a great thing to do is make a note of how many members those dues represent. It's an easy way to keep track of your membership. And then when you get dues that don't go through totem, you're going to enter them into your accounting in 2 parts. One line is $5.75 per member as pass-through income that doesn't belong to the association. There's a line for that. If you don't have a line for that in your budget, you need to add that. It looks like this down right after fundraising. If you can see, it says receipts not belonging to the association, membership receipts pass through. That goes here outside of your own total receipts. If that makes sense, and I hope it does. And then whatever's left is your membership dues as income. So if you're charging $10 a member, $5.75 comes to Second District PTA, and $4.25 is yours to keep and to put in your membership dues income line. Dun, dun, dun. And then conversely, if you look at the bottom, when you send your dues to Second District, when you write the check, you're going to book that under pass-through expenses not belonging to the association. It's the same thing, but just on the expense side. All right. Stay with me. I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot. It's gonna, there will be a reprise later. This is not the reprise. Taxes, raffles, and registrations, but we're getting there. Um, we're going to talk about how to keep your PTA in good standing, right? So you're already managing the money. You're already doing the monthly reports. You're doing all the good things for your unit and for your district. And now you have to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do for the state and the federal government. And here's how you do it. First thing you'll need before you begin to file these is your annual financial report. And it's basically all of your receipts for the year, all your expenses for the year, taking out or the receipts that don't belong to the unit, and conversely, the disbursements that don't belong to the unit. Okay, and this is a sample from the California PTA website. And I have a link. I think I have a link for them. So let's start with the taxes. We have IRS, their form is called, the federal one is 990, and California state taxes is form 199. Luckily, this looks like it's changed a little bit since we last did its training. And if you make less than $50,000, you're going to file this 990 postcard. It's called 990N to the IRS. You're going to file the 199N, also online kind of postcard to California Franchise Tax Board. And then you're going to do these other two forms for the Attorney General. These are all hyperlinked. So when we send out this slide deck, those are all hyperlinked so you can access them easily. If you make more than 50,000, your forms get a little bit more complicated. The 990 or the 990EZ, and you know, depending on who you are, how good you are with these kinds of forms, how familiar you are, you may or may not want to get an accountant, like a professional accountant, to do your 990 or 990EZ, because they are not easy, I will tell you that. But you could be comfortable doing it yourself, but I find them very, very daunting. The 199 to California Franchise Tax Board. And then a little bit different, you are going to send the RRF1 plus a copy of your 990 or 990EZ to the Attorney General. So with less than 50,000, you're sending the RRF1 and the CTTR1. Greater than 50,000, you're sending the RRF1 and a copy of your 990 or 990EZ. And all of these are due November 15th. You want to remember to include your fee. They will tell you what your fee is. And here's a hyperlink. This is the California PTA hyperlink that's going to tell you a little bit more detail about this process. And I want to highlight that, wow, it's 6:30. I want to highlight that the taxes are due November 15th, but you can do them now. You can do them this month or next month. I highly recommend doing them before the whole, you know, late fall, winter madness starts. Because you have all the information you need to do it, and you just click one of the links and get it done. You're going to do workers' comp reporting. It's due January 15th. You're going to do raffle registration. If you think you're going to hold a raffle, make sure you register to hold a raffle. The registration covers the calendar year, January 1st to December 31st. So make sure your raffle dates align with your registration dates. And then if you do or you do not have a raffle, but you have registered for one, you do need to file a raffle report by February 1st for the prior year. Insurance, you're going to have to pay insurance. It's due December. I'm not sure December 20th is this year's due date, but we will be letting you know and you'll be getting notifications when the insurance is due. It will be around that time. Financial. I'm kind of blowing quickly through these things now, um, because you don't need to know exactly how to do them right now. But just so you know, you do need to do them at some point. The financial review is required once a year and it's recommended twice a year. So now's the time when the once a year is due. So your board needs to have a financial reviewer or a review committee. If you have a qualified accountant to do your review, you don't need to have a committee check their work. And we'll probably be sending an email to all our treasurers with more information about the financial review. It's usually a lot of questions surrounding that. It's super important to do this because, again, just to make sure everything's in order and there's nobody can whisper about there being, malfeasance or people not handling the finances properly. Okay, and then this is kind of a calendar of what you might think about doing each month, right? So around this time, August, September, you're going to present your financial review. You're going to talk about your budget. September, maybe you're going to file your registration for raffle. October 15th is the deadline for remitting new memberships for the year for your first remittance. We must have 15 members by October 15th, and etc. You can look through that. So that helps you, gives you an idea of what you need to be doing. Okay, take a moment. Take a moment. That was a lot of stuff. So all of that is accessible to you. You can refer to it, and I'm going to be sending emails out periodically, helping you to stay on track, so you don't have to memorize everything. And if you ever have questions, you can always email me or you can email anybody on the Second District PTA Board. But here's what you really need to be doing right now. I hope that's what it's going to show. Yes, what to do now. If you haven't already, you need to read your bylaws. Everyone on the board needs to read their bylaws. I highly recommend you all sit down together, get a cup of coffee or a stiff drink and read your bylaws together. But if that doesn't, just yourself read it. You want to review systems that are in place now, whatever the last treasurer left you or what you yourself was doing last year, and understand those systems or create new systems, something that's really going to keep you on track. I recommend keep creating calendar of due dates, kind of like the one I just showed you. And I recommend filing your forms right now, if you can. If not now, like as soon as you can. There's no reason to wait till November 15th when you're thinking about Thanksgiving and you're planning your Christmas travel and all that. Do it now while we're just still on vacation, I guess. Let's see. And then attend the next trainings and invite your fellow board members. I really think it's a good idea for other board members to join treasurers trainings so they understand the framework that you have to work with. And I think that makes the whole thing run even smoother when you all are on the same page with how you need to handle the finances. Okay. Oh, and then just to end, there's a kind of a list, a 10-point list of just good financial procedures. I mean, number one is 2 signers on almost anything you can think of. And cash, 2 people count it together. I'm not going in order, by the way. 2 people count them together and fill out your form. If that cash can't get deposited right away after counting it, and it has to go into the school safe. When it's collected again, it has to be counted again by two people, to just to make sure of what's in there. Because I'm sure you've been in a situation where you collect the cash that's been sitting overnight and you bring it to the bank and you're like, oh no, it's $10 off. It's probably just a mistake from the other counters, but it can look like somebody took $10 at some point during the night. So it's important that two people are always counting the money when it's left anybody's hands. Um, and not children, I'm gonna tell you. I have seen some of those forms signed by children, and I really, really, really approve and encourage including the students and children in your fundraising and counting money and being fiscally responsible. However, their signature does not count on those forms. They just don't. On the very bottom, I want to highlight this hyperlink to the Department of Justice registry search. You can use the registry search to see if your PTA is in good standing. It has a list of those, the forms that are required to send into the state, and and just lets you know if anything is overdue and where you stand. I think it's really good to take a look at that and see where you are. Sometimes you get surprised. So I think that's it for that part. What else? Do I have anything else? Started a little, oh, yes, yes. Okay. So I made a few notes for good practices. It popped in my head. I think it's a great idea to make copies of the checks you deposit. If you have other ways where the check is sort of immortalized that you can refer to it at some point, that's fine. But if you're doing paper and that check goes bye-bye when it hits the bank and you never see it again, I think it's a great idea to make copies. So if you ever have to look at it for any reason, it's there. And I've had to do that, so it's not without its merit. Um, I love keeping a log and a running tab of funds released. So when you go to your association and say, I need $500 for my Halloween, or for not mine, but the Halloween line item, then as people start to get paid from that line item, you can keep track of how much is left because you don't want to spend more than what was approved. So if you get down to $450, then maybe it's time to go back and ask for more funds to be released. And I put the PTA links like California PTA, the Treasurer's Toolkit, things like that on my computer on the, what do you call that thing? The bookmarks. I bookmark them and it saved me so much time. And I highly recommend doing that too. So I think that's it. I didn't do a final thank you and question and answer page, but I feel it in my heart. So I think now is a great time if people have questions, comments. Let's see. Wait. If anyone wants to look at back at any of the slides, that's where we are. Tina, are there any questions in the chat? It's quiet.
Um, Hi. I just had actually a quick question. I am just well, currently the secretary. I might have to step into the role as treasurer. We're not so sure yet. Um, but now you said that those forms, we can find them. I do my own taxes, and I know that like our PTA is super small, so I wouldn't see like the tax form being the big one. So I was just checking to see double check to make sure where I could possibly find these in case I do have to step into the role. even for a little bit, until someone does come.
Hmm.
Um, so, yeah. Um, and, I don't really know. I'm new to the PTA thing
Yeah.
as it is. Yeah, and our treasurer is moving to a different city, so they won't be going to our school. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for
Thanks.
stepping up and volunteering. That's really awesome. And so saying what you just said, I can imagine how this presentation was like kind of maybe an avalanche of information, but
Yeah,
it's
well, I do a lot of union contracts and read a lot of contracts with my union.
mm,
So so some of it you like I understand, but some of yeah, it's the treasure part definitely seems like a lot.
yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure there was someone I could reach out to when in fact I do run into a roadblock and don't know what to do.
Hmm. For
So,
sure. And I should have put that on the last slide too, but you can reach out to me.
hmm.
And I can put it in the chat, but it's treasurer@sfpta.org. And
Okay.
that'll come to me. I'm sorry, I don't. Oh, here we go, chat.
I got it,
There we go.
Gina.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you so much. Um, and this is the slide deck, the slide for the taxes. These are all hyperlinks.
Yeah.
And as I said, that these will be the slide deck's going to be shared with everybody, so you'll have access to this. But also feel free to reach out to me. I can give you the information too.
Okay. I
I will
appreciate
tell you
that.
this. If you click on this link, I thought, can you just go straight? I think you have to do, oh, what's this? That's the EZ. Okay, well, that's good. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong link there.
It's
Um,
all good.
yeah, the 990N is a postcard. Um, it's so easy. You do it online and you just say, it says, did you make $50,000 or less? And you click yes, and you're done. And that's the end of that. It's so easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is
Cool.
your name? Sorry,
Thank
where
you.
are you
Oh,
calling from?
hi. My name is Rochelle Nichols. And my son goes to the public Montessori. Um,
Oh.
currently we're in New York. So every time I go outside, it's super warm out, but lots of bugs. We're in upstate, so it's like bat central.
Well,
But
well, great, Michelle. Nice to meet you.
yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. But I'll be on for the next one as well, because technically I'm the treasurer. So
Secretary.
yeah, or secretary.
Yeah.
And but might have to jump into treasurer just for a minute. Just because I just have so much going on that I just know that it would just be too overwhelming for me to do
Mm-hmm.
it constantly. So,
Sure.
um,
Well, great.
yeah,
Thank you.
but cool, awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I'll be on for the secretary part as well.
Great. Does
Awesome,
anybody
thanks.
else have any questions?
Oh, I just wanted to say, in the chat, I put in the toolkit, the California PTA toolkit, the link to it. So you can check, I mean, it's everything you pretty much need to know about everything, to help you in your role. So definitely go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to add that in. So,
Yeah,
That's
thank you so
awesome.
much.
Thank you so much. I
yeah,
appreciate that.
of course.
Yeah. And then I was wondering if you look here on my what do you call this thing? Bookmark. I have a folder for PTA stuff. And if I click that, I've got um, the reimbursement form, the financial review toolkit, forms. So all of all these things I find myself reaching for pretty often. And then it saves me time digging for them later. And these are links I can share with you as well as treasurers. I can email what I think is a helpful list of links. Also, I plan to have hard copies of some of the more frequently used forms at our in-person training. Um, yeah. So,
Hi, can I ask a question?
mhm. Yes.
Hi, my name's Cheryl. I'm with the Abraham Lincoln PTSA. Just a quick question. Are we what software are most treasurers using to prepare these financial reports? Are we required
Yeah.
to use my PTZ or can we use whatever we're most comfortable with?
Yeah, you can use what you're comfortable with and what your PTA can or will pay for. Um, and some people I know just use Excel spreadsheets. Um, and it's funny because I think it was last year I did a survey, just a fun survey of what units we're using, and it really just ran the gamut. No one's using one more than another. So there's QuickBooks, I know, there's PT Easy, um, oh gosh, I'm forgetting some of the other ones. Yeah, whatever's going to work for you.
Okay, yeah,
It would
we were
be
discussing switching to QuickBooks and we were wondering if, if we have to use a certain software to prepare these reports. So good to know.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you. Doo, doo, doo. Anyone else? Okay. If there are no more questions, then should we just go ahead and start the secretary? What do you think, Karen?
Oh, did you mention Future Fund Connect?
No, I didn't.
Okay, that's okay.
Oh, you
Because,
beat me
okay,
to
so
it.
all
I was gonna say.
treasurers should have received once whoever entered the information into Future Fund Connect, the treasurers should have all received a invite to join Future Fund Connect, and please do so. It's not spam or anything. It's sent by me. Um, and please join because in the system, you will be able to download all your tax forms on there. So they're all in one place. You can't really do any financial things on it, but as far as like storage for your like past, there should be, if there is a history, because we used to use PTA Easy, but they've transitioned into Future Fund Connect, which you also have to you store your tax forms and like whatever you want to like in your bylaws, they are all stored on that software. So yeah, so that's definitely something that you should do just to have a place to put it. So for future board members, they can easily find it. So definitely please join that Future Fund Connect. And if you have not gotten that, please contact me. I can connect you, and I can add you. But again, you should have received that invite, and please accept that invite, if you have gotten it. And if you don't see it in your main email, please check spam because a lot of them have been going into a lot of people's spam. So,
And Karen, someone just asked if it expired. They can just email you to get a new
yes,
invite, correct?
yes, definitely. Yeah. So just let me know what school you're at and your email or whatever email you want it to go to, and then I'll send you the invite from future. And please accept the invite within a week because it expires. So once you get it, please accept it immediately, or else I'll have to send it again. And
And I just wanted to add in the fact that on CAPTA it still says PTA Easy, does not say future fund yet. So
oh,
don't.
really?
That's correct. They haven't updated their website. That's a huge process.
I know.
Thank you, Austina. That's very good information. The toolkit, a
Well,
lot
I
of
know that it'll confuse people. That's why.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, I
it
know.
does. We have
That
asked
You're
for that
right.
update
It's
several
so
times.
confusing right now. They're working on it. But we need to put the information out there that you need to accept future fund. But again, as far as doing your financials within your school, like you find the one that works best for you. I mean, if PTA Easy works for you, do that. But there are the other options that were put in the chat. Definitely look into that and see what works for you. But
And
And
several places offer discounted
oh,
rates
right.
for nonprofits. So as a PTA,
Exactly.
you are a nonprofit, or PTSA, you are a nonprofit. So take advantage of those community or discounted rates.
And also, I don't know if you emphasize this, Karen, but the PTEZ, some people still use it for their financials, for their
Right.
bookkeeping.
Right.
And then the Future Fund Connect is just for the documents. But I just wanted to emphasize that
Right.
because I
It
know
is
some people
just
are
for
still getting
documents.
confused about, okay, oh,
Yeah,
but
I
we're
know.
using Future Fund Connect is not for your accounting at all.
Exactly.
These are two
Yeah.
separate things. And then I want to answer a question by RJ Andrews about a low dollar amount that can be spent without the formal processes. And yes, the answer is basically no, but there is, if you look in your bylaws, again, read your bylaws, there's something in there that will tell you a dollar amount or a total dollar amount for your whole year that you can spend without, I'm not saying this well. If you need to spend some money between meetings and for an unbudgeted item, there's a dollar amount in your bylaws that you can spend up to if the board votes on it. But
And
it
that's
still has
usually
to be approved by the board.
it's usually a very nominal amount, and it's approved in the original budget that the association votes on at the beginning of the year. Is that correct, Gina?
It's no, it could be something not in the budget.
Understood. But it
Yeah.
is usually a nominal amount, like under $250 total for the year. My experience.
Look at your, I've seen some that are 750. Just look at your bylaws. It's a good,
That's good to
it's a
know.
good teaser to get you to look at them. It's in there. But you're right.
Yeah,
It's
it's definitely
not.
not like 20,000. It's not
No.
yeah, it's usually a smaller, much smaller
hmm
amount just to be safe and to,
Yeah, it's just to, if you get caught out and you need to pay something really quickly, it's there. So I just wanted to add that because and I think that's it. Yeah.
There was a question about the CPA assistance from CAPTA. That's a good question. I should look